Hello, YouTube. We're back. Welcome to what day is it? Is it Wednesday already? Sheesh. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Technical. I'm here with producer AB, young AB. No, we're not related, as far as I know. And right now, I am looking at SILV Silvercrest. I'm liking it a little bit on the daily chart. Looking for your picks. What do you guys think about this moving average setup? I'll show you all the moving averages I have on here. I'm really just going to rely on the Fibonacci, but what I see is a potential bounce right here. Silver's getting sold. Silvercrest metals, rather. I'm looking for oversold bouncy bounces right now. This one also has a golden cross. Ramon, have you been training for chess against Spencer? Yes, since the day I was born. My clan chose me to be the successor of the Hamilton chess mantle. And Spencer Israel, or Sizreal, if you follow him on Twitter, is my arch nemesis. And I will destroy him and hear the lamentation of his women. Conan the Barbarian. What's up, Miles? How we doing? Do you guys like my moving average setup? It's 100. Yeah, everything is right there. Everything is lining up with this previous candle being the spot. Turn off the 100. Actually, I'm going to leave the 100 on because I'm interested in what this blue line tells me. 50 is going to go. That lines up perfectly. So a bunch of moving averages are lining right up here with this bad lad. As a significant sign of resistance. And that's also where we start to break out of this little volume situation we got. That's our launch pad, if you guys know Jake from TrendSpider. What's up? Yeah, I got most of the worms out of the way. So silver caught my attention. It came up on my scanner for golden crosses. And what I'm looking for is bounce number 3? Question mark. We're getting a little bit of a rounding formation. Not getting the greens coming in. Would like to see the greens coming in for that little V-shaped reversal. Remember, sell off, up, shelf, up, shelf. Looking for some of that. I think that at least one of the shelves will occur here around 931. You can see how that lines up with our volume profile here. And then once we get out of there, we got two things happening. So breaking up. I mean, you can be an aggressive trader and say when this thing breaks above the 100-day moving average, which is hitting as resistance, time to enter, and then target this level of resistance at 930 for profit potential of, let me delete all my nonsense, wherever we are. We'll just say when it crosses this 100, gets up to this resistance level for 3.53%. But we are ultimately looking for a return to highs and this gap close here. SILV on the one-day chart, getting out the natch. And that lines up pretty well with this level here as resistance. It's the start of the gap and the end of the gap here in the middle, if you guys can see that. Yes, silver trade it every day. Tell me more. I'm not big on the silver game. Not big on it. It just the last time that I entered silver, I lost money because I just kind of YOLO'd it. I didn't put a lot into it. But give me the news. Is silver having something going on that we should know about? Take a look at another one that showed up on my scanner. So I'm looking at industrials machinery. I'm seeing that another sector that's doing well is discretionary, consumer discretionary. So let me check consumer. You're not letting me do that, huh? Consumer. Scan. Let's just look at XLY. Let's just look at the consumer discretionary spider ETF. Deleting all my drawings. Oh, it looks like the 100-day. Look at your young 100-day. All right, the blue line on the chart, if you ignore this noise here on the right, the blue line is the 100-day moving average here. We look at XLY. This is the consumer discretionary ETF, SPTR spider, and we're getting this nice little bouncy action. Looks like we're going to get some more of that. So that was 1, 2. We bounced off the 65 before that. This lower threshold here when we passed through the 100-day moving average. Just go ahead and take a look at what that might be. Look at that. Trusty old 200 coming in to save the day with consumer discretionary. And dang, when that got down there, this is what I'm looking for right now. This is the new thing. I learned this from Mark Petrino, great trader, friend of mine. I'm looking for bounce situations. I'm in bounce world right now. So I want stocks that are hitting an identifiable level of support, which in this case, it was the 200-day. And then let's go ahead and draw a line and see if that was meaningful in the past. Nothing terribly recent except for there's some support right here on this shelf. So that counts. So I want the combination of nearly at least oversold, which in this case, this one seldom gets oversold unless there's a global pandemic. Oversold territory, identifiable support, buy the dip, let it rip. Looking for some of that. This one looks like it's still got some room to go. The volume is drying up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Fibonacci consumer discretionary. I mean, it's in a nice little zone here. Let's go ahead and zoom in so we can get updated volume profile. I think we are clear to fly. We are clear for flight. We just need some additional volume to come in. Then we'll hit that resistance right around here. You can see where there's a lot of holders right here. There is some supply up ahead right at this level, right on this upper resistance level on the candle here at 177. Not a massive difference between those two price levels, but consumer discretionary. I wonder if it will continue. What's my price target for TSP? What is CSP? Okay, I like this chart. Let's look at a little sandwich action. So we're looking at the daily. Very new stock. Let's go down to the hourly. Look at this. All right, so who has this question? TSP. Hey, Nick, what's up? Can I call you Bay? I'm going to call you Bay. You can call me Bay. I would actually prefer that everyone that I work with calls me Bay. Look at this yellow line, my friend. See this yellow line? This line is magical. It's magical. It's the 65 exponential moving average adjusted to whatever time frame I'm looking at in my chart. So in this case, this is the 65-hour exponential moving average. Look at the magic. The last time this stock TSP launched off of this thing, it took off like a majestic angel. It's beautiful. And then we returned back down, but just for a moment. It was like a marathon runner stopping to get just a little water and then spit that shit out and then kept running. And you can see that we bounce right off of that. So some fun has been had here. The purple line is the 10-week exponential moving average on all charts. So this is actually weeks looking here at TSP on the 1 hour chart. This is another significant one. Being above these, crossing above these, or bouncing off of these are good indications for momentum and trend. So we are looking at a little situation here with TSP. Let me define that situation for you, my friend. To the best of my abilities, anyway. Ooh, you love to see it. Ooh, you love to see it. Big old round bottom walking down Wall Street. But we are men and women of culture, so we're not going to catcall it. We're just going to pull out our little flip phones and open up our brokerage. Because we got a rounding bottom here. That's what you got. All right. Let's get our Fibonacci retracement. TSP, two simple holdings. From the top to the bottom of that damn thing. And look at that. Look at it. We are right at the 0.382 or the 55 points, or for 55.6 price level, the 382 level on the Fibonacci. This is a key price level. This is an area of resistance that we want to break out of. Next price target for TSP, if you want a price target, on the 1 hour, 56.87. Right here. That's going to be your next line of resistance. And you can see, look at this. Let me illustrate something. So what I got here on the right is volume by price instead of volume over time. How many shares exchanged hands at these levels? Up ahead, we got some people holding. So what do we got? We got some overhead supply coming out of this bulge. Right around this area. But we broke out of this stuff, so we got some smooth sailing until we get there. And then once we break out, if you're going purely by volume profile, which I think this lines up, people are going to be watching both these levels. But once you break out around this 57 handle, we're going right up to this next level of resistance right here. Okay, so that is the volume profile, Fibonacci, and a little bit of a moving average analysis. So let's delete everything and start from the beginning looking at nothing but price. So JC Perez of All Star Charts was here. He'd be like, what is all that crap? Get it out of here. Get off my lawn. And he would just look at price. So let's do that. Get volume out of here. We're only looking at the price structure. And that's where our double bottom really, really comes into shine. We've got a neckline here on our double bottom, don't we? Could say it's this swing high area. Let me break this down to a 30-minute really quick. Yeah, this is our neckline. Come on, folks. Looking at just the price structure here. Little failed breakout there, making our gap. Right now, we're getting a breakout with a pullback. But this is what we want to get out of. What is the pure price structure, price target for TSP? Well, we take the lowest price in our rounding bottom formation and we bring it up to our neckline. And then we add that to our neckline. It's going to get you right about here for about 61. Just about 61. I wonder if bringing this up... Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to do a better job. I'm going to be a better technical analyst and include the wick here. I'm going to remeasure that. And this is where it's a little bit, it's a science, it's an art, it's a combination. So there you go. And I wonder if I break that down, if that lines up with any intermediate levels. Yeah, it kind of lines up with this level here, the open of this red candle here on the 5-minute chart. At any rate, the price target for resolution out of the rounding bottom pattern here on TSP is going to be about 61.91. Watching the RSI, let's go ahead and see if we've got the steam. Let's see if we've got the swarm behind this, the power. Double click on my chart. RSI, we're kind of up here in this toppy territory. Might not have the volume power to get up there, my friend. So I would say make sure that you're getting a clear day candle close above. Just go ahead and use a round number above 56. Shit. I mean, you could even use this wick right here. It might even be the best thing. Just raise this puppy. And just get that clear day candle close above 56. Okay. So the entry, so Jim stock. So yeah, I would say I would enter on a day candle close above this June 17th wick. If we get that day candle close, that's where I set my alarm on my Amazon Echo every single day. And I check all of the stocks that I'm watching, and if I get a nice close above, I'm going long. But if you're trading over a shorter period, same thing applies. Right now, we're looking at a swing trade. Right, I assume if you want a price target, you don't mean like today. Yeah, I know it's a big move, but let's see. I mean, look, this thing is holding a nice little level. So hold on. If we just measure, I don't know what this company is, but I mean, it's off to a good start. It had this nice broad base, and then it launched off, and it didn't completely sell off. It formed a nice little. You can even cup with handle this thing. So as you guys know, cup with handle is a continuation pattern, some classic William O'Neill stuff, and this can be treated as such. Right at the point where this started to pivot into a downtrend, we'll see what happens, but you can get kind of loosey-goosey with your cup and handle and say it's something like this. And since you are hitting resistance here based on this previous level of resistance and when I brought in the volume profile to the right, volume by price, do it again. Well, actually, the volume by price is looking really good around here. It looks like you are in you're in a nice clear area. The whole thing with this volume profile is you've broken out of the supply zone. So it might work as a magnet, pull you back down, or it could just launch you up depending on, I mean, ultimately you see what happens, but you might see, and just because this is the Goofy song, I always change it when that one comes on, you might see some selling at this level because we are so high up on RSI. RSI, very important. So you might see something like that. All right. I would enter on the neckline, but I'm a cheap ass. Also, guys, you don't have to trade all the stocks. So we haven't talked about it for a long time, but it's, some of the most successful people on all ends of the spectrum in terms of how much experience. Think about some of the folks that are making a ton of money just on AMC. They're just trading one asset, and they're becoming familiar with it. They know which levels of RSI matter. They know which moving averages matter. They know that they can count on Fibonacci on certain time frames because they're becoming intimately aware of the behavior of the buyers and sellers of a particular asset. So you don't have to, I mean, I like it. I think it's good content for this show to always be finding new stocks, new industries, rotate into different sectors / industries, and finding opportunities there because it creates educational opportunities. But I mean, sheesh, you could just trade SPY. Plenty of people only trade SPY. What do I think about TAL? Yay or nay? It's getting. I'm surprised that it's not lower on the RSI. So TAL Education Group, commercial services. I mean, this could be future snack potential. We got to this. We hit the absolute low level of support right here. Crossed down past it a little bit, but markets are organic, so that's okay. This is the monthly. So this has been just 3 out of 4 months have just been brutal for this thing. And we're going into July following a big sell. This could be a bounce. This could be a bounce. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. When I said that I'm on bounce patrol, I'm looking at the RSI. I want oversold stocks that have found support. This has found support, but it's got a little bit of ways before it's definitionally textbook oversold. So that's, it's got to cross the 30 here, this dotted line, and maybe get a little below it. If it gets a little bit below it, it's like fishing with a shotgun. But just make sure you're really sure about that support, and it correlates with the timing of that oversoldness. Also, make sure that the companies didn't announce that they're going bankrupt or something like that. So with this one, we could also, so this is the monthly. Let's do something cool. Let's do some, well, first, okay, as always, Fibonacci. Everyone hit that like button for the Fibonacci. All right. Fibonacci. And then we'll hit, after this, we'll hit CLNE, and then we'll talk about AHT. AHT, very popular FinTwit stock right now. That I have, full disclosure, am not currently holding, but have held and have made money from. Also lost money, but net gain. But that's trading. So this thing is respecting the Fibonacci. This is one of the first things we want to look. Fibonacci is just my stupid way of saying the Fibonacci retracement tool. Look at this. Little consolidation right on this line. Little bit of a bounce right above that line. Gapping around here. A little bit of a bounce here. Upper resistance on this line. Support. A little bit of support. A little bit of support. And then here. We're finding support, of course, because that's where I anchored the damn thing. Now the question is, my friends, TAL on the 1 day, are we getting that turnaround pattern? Dude, I think you might have. I think you might be onto something. But you're watching your structure. All right, watch your volume, watch your structure. You got serious resistance ahead from your overhead supply right here. Yep, lines right up with this consolidation phase. Let's see how much of that move. I mean, sheesh. TAL. Let's see. I mean, you might get what it looks like it's doing is maybe forming one of these, which would be a little double bottom action. You could be onto something. I would say for entry, you might want to see it retest this low, or otherwise break above this level so you can close this gap. But I mean, shit, where it's at right now, you can go to an even shorter time frame and trade it. I don't know. It depends on what you're doing. For a swing trade, I don't think the time to enter is now. I don't know. I might take that back, dude. I kind of like this. On the 1 day, I would like to see some more volume coming in for it, though. I think it's going to consolidate at this level. Just keep your eye on it for consolidation and watch that volume come in. You want the volume to be coming in. This could be a good bounce. So, okay. Yeah, it's just volume. This thing on the right, instead of doing volume over time, so like on the 7th of June, there were this many shares bought and sold or traded. I'm saying at this price, there was this many shares traded, and that goes across all time. So that tells me where demand and supply exists, meaning right here there was a bunch of sellers and buyers at this level. So I would look at this as a level of overhead supply. People probably holding it, waiting for it to return to that level so they can sell to break even. The side is called volume profile on TradingView. So if you go to your indicators, volume profile. Oh, for some reason they put it in the left column, like in its own special spot. So it's right here, volume profile. If you use other tools like TrendSpider, I think very astutely calls it what it really is, which is just, they call it volume by price. BT, is X gonna give? Is X gonna give it to you? I checked X today. Let's look at metals first. Ooh, I think look at my charts are like graffiti.
Graffiti.
All right, so let's take a look. This could be the return of the I don't know. I'm thinking of an Eminem song, but I can't remember. Oh no, it's the return of the. Oh wait, all right. That's like a boomer status now. Rounding top on XME are metals, our sweet metals. We didn't get like a full resolution of the rounding top, But nonetheless, when you start to see your stocks forming this, when your stocks are going like this, starts to look like Lisa Simpson's hair. Maybe consider taking a short position. At any rate, is this a trap is the question. Is this a trap on metal? I don't know. I want to see it break firmly above this level that was previously support. Let's pull in some moving averages. Actually, let me just see VWAP for the quarter. Oh, so here's VWAP for the quarter. It's getting stopped out right at VWAP. So if you anchor your VWAP, your volume weighted average price to the current quarter, which is very close to ending, you can see that is the resistance. So I'm long this when it crosses above. This is XME, so it's all the metal and mining. It's supposed to be representative of metal and mining, non-precious metals. We get above VWAP on this, I say it's time to go long, and it will surely be recognized by algos and other traders. And then you can see that we got a little shelf ahead in the volume here. Actually, no, that's from... Is that from previous highs? Yeah, dude, why? Always zoom out on your charts. Always zoom out. I mean, this looks to me like this doesn't always happen. It seems like we've kind of been missing out on this lately. That's how it works. All right, folks. That's what it is. Double bottom. Big old mud flaps. And then a breakout, and then a pullback, and either a dip below or just straight up bounce, which looks like that's what we're getting. We're getting that bounce. So this is what we call a double mud flap. Guys, give me a 1 in chat if you've ever seen this is Spinal Tap.
I have not. But wait, Neil, are you feeling better today?
Yes. Did you say I was sick yesterday?
Well, I told them about how when we went out to dinner on Monday night, you ordered your chicken medium rare, and I didn't know if that had something to do with the absence, the medium rare chicken.
It did. And that's part of my weight loss goals. So when I need that extra push, like I start to plateau on a diet. Like right now I'm on keto, as you know. What I like to do is order my chicken medium rare. So I get like a little bit of food poisoning, but not like full blown food poisoning. Shaves off like that next 5 pounds, and then it's just easy going from there.
It's an ancient trick.
But
been doing it for years.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, this show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. We may or may not hold some of the assets we talk about. The Rat 2 comes in on Friday. So Spinal Tap, big bottom. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get DMCA'd. But if you like hair metal and you have a soul and a sense of humor, listen to Big Bottom by Spinal Tap. It's a parody of the I would say the sexist nature of the hair metal trend from the late 80s, but it's awesome. So it's hilarious, and I think about it. That's the new song that I think about every time I see these things. So anyways, XME meat's back on the menu. So we got this young VWAP. We just want to cross above that thing. It's clearly serving as resistance here for XME. It's looking like it's doing the pullback as I illustrated here with my my colored pencil. So let's look at X and see who's going to give it to you. Look, X is on a journey. All right. It's on a real journey. And this is our rounding bottom here, our most recent rounding bottom, where we're getting these pullbacks. But I gotta say, what I don't like about X itself is the lower highs. I don't like this. This looks toppy to me. XME overall doesn't look like this. It already kind of had that, and now it's getting its little bounce action. X, I don't like the way that looks. I'm not saying that it can't have like a nice breakout if it breaks above this like multi-month neckline. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. But I'll say I like X above 24 and a quarter. Let's look at CLF. This is the largest holding in XME, which is that ETF we've been looking at. And this one's doing the damn thing. This one's going for broke. Let me delete all this drawings, all this everything. It's pretty much reaching its price target. So if you look at this like a double bottom, the price target's going to be right around here. So reaching resolution there. But breaking out of that is also going to be significant because we've got this next speed bump ahead here. And then it's a gap. So, I mean, Cleveland Cliffs could be a really nice climb. I mean, the trend continues here. Let's see. Let's pull out the magical 65 moving average. Yeah, look at that. CLF, a little bit easier to trade right now than X, I think. I mean, we love X, but we don't want to form emotional attachments. We have one nights. We are dirty one night stand hookup culture men and women here on Get Technical. Listen, it's not you, it's me, X. It was fun for a while, but I got to move on. So anyways, look at this. So we're hitting this 65, sometimes crossing it, but that's your bounce, baby. And you can see it's getting around this level, and RSI seems to be the level that it hits before it has its next impulsive move. So this is just an upward trend. This is a stock that's in trend. This is a stock that's currently having its bounce, hitting resistance on the 10-week moving average, breaks above the 10-week exponential moving average. It's a buy. CLF. And that's a buy. I mean, we're hitting these higher highs. No problem targeting this this level of resistance here. Multi-day swing trade. Airbnb. Let's look at Airbnb. Oh, we're going overtime. All right, so this will be the last one, and then we're going to bring on the illustrious, the one, the only, Sylvia Bell Rock. Okay, so what did you say, Miles? Check Airbnb daily with volume. Okay, I got daily with volume profile. I got volume profile on the right. Looking to a liquidity gap above and good MAs. So the liquidity gap, what Miles means by that is these spaces in between the lumpies. So the valleys between the mountains are liquidity gaps. So you guys already know gaps on charts where a candle closes in one place and then opens without any price between it. That is a gap between sessions. But we're looking for liquidity gap. So this is about shares traded at certain price levels. Hey, Yogi. All right, so Miles, I'm going to keep over this. Look at above and good moving averages. Yeah, I mean, look, it's getting caught. It's being held right here by the Samantha LeDuc 10-week moving average, looking good. Like, there's a lot of this is great. Airbnb rules. I'm going to buy more Airbnb right now. I always forget. I always say like, oh, Airbnb is the future of blah blah blah. It's like one of the best tech stocks there is right now. But check out what Miles is trying to show everyone. And listen, RSI is on the up and up. We just got out of this shelf. If you listen to Jake W., who just had a baby, congratulations, Jake. Awesome name for the baby. I think it was Kuba. Named his baby Kuba. I think, is that how you're pronouncing it, dude? Jake from TrendSpider calls this a launch pad. So once you're getting out of this territory, the grasps of all of this supply, then you have what Miles is referring to, I think very astutely, as a liquidity gap, where it's like there's no one holding here to sell you down. All right. So there's a couple things. Number one is just that. Let's go. Airbnb looking like a snack. Let's go on that. The other thing is we've got the 65 EME. I bet you that will serve as a little bit of resistance, but a break above that's going to be a shot in the arm for our price action. Great setup. Big shout out to the one and only dog with toupee, Miles Kaplan, Airbnb. So while we bring on, I'm going to bring on our special education guest for the day, the one and only. Yeah, I think PLTR, same thing. PLTR. Hold on, damn it. All right, you guys, stop distracting me. May also have a nice liquidity gap ahead. Let's bring on Sylvia Bellrock. Hey.
Hey, nice to see you, Neil. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Feeling good. I got a good amount of sleep last night, and that's like all I can ask for.
Me too.
It's so important. We can't, guys, don't neglect your sleep schedule. Hey guys. Sylvia Bellrock is here. Sylvia, for those that are not experienced, could you please introduce yourself?
Oh, yes, sure. So my name is Sylvia Bellrock. I am an educator and trader. So I've been trading in the past 8 years and most of the time swing trading. So that's my focus, momentum stocks or growth stocks, and also recently doing more of those future indices, which is working very well. So yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
And also, guys, if you want to check out, type in sylviabarrock.com. I have their free educational course. So for those of you who are interested, feel free to check it out.
So it's hername.com. So make sure you guys get on over there. All right, guys. And smash that like, please. The more likes that we get on these videos.
Yes, smash the like button.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The more trade ideas we're able to give out. So please, let's get this video up to at least 150 likes. So pump it up, guys. Appreciate it. Sylvia. So futures have been interesting. I did not expect an increase on futures. I was in a bearish mood earlier in the week. So I would love it if you could pull up your chart and sort of walk us through what's happening.
Yeah, sure. By the way, I wanted to share with you also my thoughts on CLF, because I longed that this morning and you were talking about that. So.
Please do. I love gut checking or getting someone else's opinion. So yeah, if you go to share screen, yeah. So yeah, let's start with CLF. That's Cleveland. I think it's Cleveland Cliff steel stock. It has been a momentum leader among a lot of these steel.
Absolutely. Producers. Yeah, that's been a very, very good stock. I like it. Very nice momentum, like you already mentioned. Nice momentum to the upside here. Very nice momentum. This part, especially if you look at those green candles. So I always like to look at the candles, what's happening. And we see also through the candles if we have more buying interest, more selling interest, what's happening on the chart. And we definitely see here that all those green candles are much bigger compared to the red candles. We have more green candles compared to, more momentum on the green candles compared to those on the red candles. And this last part has been very, very nice. Broke out here out of this small range of 20, broke out of this range. And after that, it pulled back. Now it is currently consolidating here around this support. So again, this was the breakout area and acts now as a support as well. And we have also here 50, 20, and 9 EMA, which act as support as well. So this is actually something what I like to watch, and that's why I actually longed that, because we see a little bit of consolidation break above. Now it is pulling back, but again, if you have a good risk management, nothing wrong even if you get stopped out. So personally, my stop is just here below this candle, below this red candle, and I'm looking for a continuation higher. The first target is 24.77, which is here the previous high. And yeah, that's the short term. So I saw you were looking more like long term here, what happened. But for me, it's more important here this past price action, because I don't plan to hold it too long. That's just hopefully a quicker trade.
Yeah. I'll take that trade. I like the way you explained that. So you know what, guys, today Neil's buying Airbnb. The Airbnb is going to be a longer one for me. I think I'll probably average into that over years, because I like the fundamentals. But CLF, I like that swing trade, Sylvia. And guys, hit that like button for more Sylvia Bellrock branded trademark ideas and setups.
Yeah, I have some ideas. I have some setups, of course, but let's check out, like you mentioned already, those indices and see what happens. So guys, by the way, for those of you who don't know, those are the futures. You can also watch SPY, Qs, you know, the ETFs. I just like the futures because they have a little bit better opportunities, especially when it comes to trading those, you know, on margin and with less capital, and also they're open overnight, so more opportunities on those for me. But they react, you know, they act the same like the ETFs. So what happened here, to be honest with you, I chased a little bit, Neil. So
Sylvia, how could you? See, it happens to the best of us.
It happens here and there sometimes, but you know,
control yourself, for God's sakes.
If you're on the right spot and if you don't have too big position, I think that's totally fine. So what happened here is, let me just remove those drawings here, so we can check that a little bit better. Remove drawings, clear. I think that's this. Yeah. So what happens is we saw this, of course, this was a very, very nice uptrend here, pulled back. And at some point it pulled back a lot. At some point, those more than 10 days were red days. And, you know, at some point after so many red days, I do expect to see a little bit of a bounce at some support area. And that's exactly what happened here. So you see how picture perfect it worked, broke a little bit lower though. So after this Fed meeting, what we have last week, which was important, I do expect it to see a little bit of a volatility, and that's exactly what happened. And to be honest with you, on Friday, I was thinking this is not going to bounce. This starts to get really ugly. I didn't expect this bounce on the Monday. I saw this nice support area here. You know, this was the breakout area, broke out, pulled back. This is a very good support area, 3,330. But I was somehow not really prepared to buy because I was expecting more pullback, more correction. And then on Monday, I saw it broke lower, and I thought, well, this is going to collapse probably. But then I saw this bullish engulfing candle here. I saw this small rejection, this small doji candle, and I thought, you know what, this is a little bit of a chase there, but because it is right at support and because it had more than 10 red days, it is time for this to bounce. So, you know, trying to connect a little bit logic as far as possible in the stock market. and then it bounced. And so my chase was that I entered here after this green candle. So would have been better if it was here, but that was during the night. And that's the disadvantage. Now I moved to the US here on the West Coast. So that's a little bit harder for me because all those setups, most of the time, they happen in Europe time, morning time, which is during the night here. So I missed that. But, you know, I chased a little bit. It worked out very well. I closed this one. And that was the trade on YM. So I do expect to continue higher, but I'm also very aware that we might see very soon, especially throughout the summer, we might see some kind of a correction. So I'm not holding those for long term, just couple of 1, 2, 3 days maximum, and then I'm out of those.
And then what's the so producer AB? I think he could be picking his nose. I'm not sure. What is the ticker for this future?
That was YM, the Dow Jones. So /YM.
Yeah, I didn't know what Y. I saw YM. And I figured it was like one of those mini futures, so I didn't know how to properly write that ticker.
Yeah.
You could
do just YM. You said it's Y/M?
/YM, that's the futures at Thinkorswim. I think most of them are like that if you type it in any kind of a brokerage platform or something like that. But, you know, you can also check out UDAO, or this is the ETF. This is the exact same thing, actually. It is only, the difference is that's the ETF instead of the future. So some people just don't like trading futures or don't have them on the account or whatever. You can just switch to the ETFs here. It is the exact same thing. The only difference is they don't trade overnight, so you have to wait until the open. That's the difference.
So for a newer investor like me, what's the difference, Sylvia, between the regular futures and the mini futures?
Oh yeah, so the mini futures are, especially for small accounts, very good. With the mini futures, you have, for example, /YMYM, and basically the normal future moves YM, for example, which is the Dow Jones. It moves $5 per point, and the smaller one, which is the micro future, moves I think it's 50 cents for the micro future on YM. So you have just much less risk. You don't need so much capital, and you can really use leverage for small account. You don't have to put too much margin on that. So this is doable for smaller accounts, and I find it a great opportunity for, especially for new traders who want to start out with futures but don't have the capital to trade those big futures. I think that's a great opportunity with those micro futures. Yeah, that's the difference. They are just, you don't need a lot of margin. They're moving like differently compared to, not differently, but they, only 50 cents per point instead of $5 per point. So which means it is much better for smaller accounts. Got it. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, so that's with YM and NASDAQ. I traded as well. This is, as some of you probably know, one of my favorite.
Oh, yes.
This one is actually same thing. This was one of the strongest. So compared to all futures, this has been one of the strongest. Nice breakout here, pull back into this support. And I saw it on Monday. I didn't want to jump in because I wanted actually to pull back into this support area, the previous support, which is 13,837, but it didn't. It actually started to consolidate here. I saw this doji candle, and somewhere around here I jumped into that and closed yesterday. I was using trailing stop on this one overnight, so my stop was just below here, 14,260-ish area. And what does that do for you is, for those of you guys who don't use trailing stops or don't know what that is, for me, especially when I'm sleeping and I don't want to give profits back, and sometimes overnight you might see more pullback. So if I'm that nice in the profit, I just want to keep it. But if it continues higher, I still want to give it a chance. If it continues, if it still has a lot of momentum. So what happened here is I'm just moving the stop above below the previous candle's low. So in this case, this was the low as I saw it, and my stop was here. So I got stopped out on this one with a profit, but this just prevents me from disaster. So if things start to go worse or go down, I don't want to give back so much profit. So trailing stop is great actually for that.
And Happy Muhammad on the spot. Thank you for the definition of a doji. Is a name for a session in which the candlestick for security has an open and close that are virtually equal and are often components in patterns. I was wondering, Sylvia, for folks, when you said doji, it probably caught the ear of some folks who are not familiar with the term. What does a doji mean to you, and why does it catch your attention?
Yeah, for me it is actually very important. I'm looking a lot of those candles because they are telling you where is buying or selling interest, and especially with doji candles, if they're at important levels, you can just start reading the chart a little bit better and understanding what's happening. And so doji candle for me just means that the price goes at this point in this example, for example, and the price goes low into this support. And normally, if you have more sellers, it will push lower, it will close lower, and it's going to continue lower. But in this case, it went into this support and it couldn't go lower. You see, this is the low of the candles, which means buyers stepped in, started buying this instrument, in this case NASDAQ, and instead of closing low, it closed higher here. So we see this wick on the bottom of the candle. This is basically a doji candle, and it closed higher with a green doji candle. This is actually a very bullish sign, especially if you are using the higher time frame. So again, if you're using 5-minute chart or 1-minute chart and try to jump in everywhere you see a doji candle, this is not how it works. you're going to get stopped out a lot. So, but the higher the time frame, the more significance those candles are. So especially if you're now on the daily or 4-hour chart or even weekly chart, they work very good. And this basically means for me, okay, buyers are stepping in here, they're protecting this level, and that's why I long that. So I really like to use those candles for my entries and exits. And if you go back, you will see a lot of those things also on the downside. It can just give you a little bit more clue where should you sell. So if you're a long position, you don't want to hold it and give back profits. And if the price reaches a resistance at some point, and you seeing a doji candle, so the opposite of the long, in this case could look just the opposite. Let me try to find one. Then this means you can start closing positions. So this is a good example here. Look, in this case, you see this is the previous short-term resistance. You see that the price couldn't hold this level. You see this small wick here, continuation of a red candle, went below this candle, and even here with this huge red candle went below the previous candle's low and just dropped lower. So this is basically a rejection. If you see that around resistance areas, it means that the price might start to get lower. And that's why I don't like buying breakouts, by the way, because most of the time is exactly what happens. I know a lot of newbies, they're jumping in, buying breakouts. And for example, here, when it goes higher, you think it's going to continue higher, you jump into that. And what happens is it goes, just lower. Not always, but I'm sure everyone has experienced
often enough. Yeah, that's the failed breakout. And then, so if you guys want to get specific, I mean, doji candles are names. It's just a name for a group of different candle formations. The hammer, I think, is what we're talking about. Whereas a high wick, so it means like during the session that it got up there to that breakout level, and then seller said, no, I got plenty of shares to sell right here, and it's pushing it back down, which is an indication that it may. Again, we're not fortune tellers or anything like that, but there's an educated, forecastable possibility that the next candle is going to be bringing that price down lower. I have bought and failed many a breakout where that was the case. So I'm with you.
But sometimes they work very good. So especially if you have very, very strong bullish markets, they can work out as well. It's not that every single breakout is going to not work out, but just most of the cases, I really don't feel very good with buying those. I feel like it's going, as soon as I'm in, I feel like it's going to go right away against me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you always want to be buying when there's a lot of people participating in the market, they're enthusiastic, and the wind is behind you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what else do we have here, Sylvia?
I am looking at some other. Let's check them out. I haven't checked them the recent hours. AOSL I'm looking at, and some other. Let's check out. So this is not ready yet. It is hanging in there here around this around this 200 EMA. That's the 200 EMA, and I really like those when they pull back into the 200. Normally they bounce off there, very nice. And this is actually a very strong stock. It had a little bit long consolidation here. You see those lower highs, lower lows, broke here a little bit below. Mm-hmm. That's not really like a huge downtrend for me. This is just basically a little bit of a longer consolidation and choppiness. And now it finally is testing again this 200 EMA. So for me, it looks like it might be ready, but I have a trigger point 29. So this will be the entry. And stop can be placed just here below. So I'm watching this one. Alpha and Omega is the name of the stock.
Epic. It's a semiconductor company. Yeah, I really like that one. Looks like it has found its support. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's found its support. I'm getting a call on Slack. Hang up. Hitting support, and the RSI is nice and low.
Yes, let me check out. Some of the other Prim. Okay, Prim. Yeah. Yes, I don't know if I brought this one up a while ago. Prim. I don't remember, but this looks very similar. So similar situation.
Yep. And what's the blue? Is that the 200 EMA?
Yeah, that's the 200. Yes.
Okay.
So similar situation here. Actually, a very nice looking stock. If you look at the long run, if we go to the 3-year chart, very nice and strong here since the coronavirus. It went from 9 to 41. So very nice move.
Yes.
And now it is consolidating for a while. You know, all of those are going sideways, breaking down, you know, going nowhere. But a lot of those are hitting now 200 EMA, and this is something I really want to look at closely, because normally if you see that kind of formation and consolidation, they tend to break out very fast at some point. But it is also not ready yet. So I want to see here breakout above this previous candle's high, so somewhere around 18, something like that, and with the stop just below here, below the 200, and you have plenty of room to the 33.83, which is the previous high and resistance, and of course after that, if it continues higher, even more. So those are some of the stocks which I'm watching. Let's check out what else. EVR and ATKR as well.
Evercore.
Yeah, EVR is actually almost ready. So maybe I'm going to buy it after we're done. Yeah, EVR is ready. So EVR, I don't know if I brought it up. So maybe I brought some of those, but they're setting up now. So nice looking chart as well. Yeah.
So in rapid succession, you guys have gotten about 3 trade ideas. Please hit the like button. It helps us so much. And I'm speaking only for myself, not for Sylvia. But it helps my fragile ego. It lets me know that I'm loved by my fake internet friends.
Very good.
Sylvia, we got about 60 seconds left. Is there anything that you'd like to leave folks with?
Well, this one again, this is very nice looking at support area 124.90, going higher, and it's breaking above this small formation here. So I think this is one of the best compared to the other two. And yeah, that's it. Neil, thank you so much for inviting me. And guys, again, if you want to check out my free trading course, feel free on my website, sylviabarrock.com. Other than that, I am looking forward to our next session and next trading ideas.
Yeah, me too. Very much so. Very exciting for the Qs going up. So we will see what we're looking at this time next week. Sylvia, It's been a great pleasure as always. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Neil. Have a great day.
You too, Sylvia. Bye. All right, guys. Sylvia Bellrock, everyone. Make sure that you get on over to sylviabellrock.com and grab that. There's some free stuff there. And there's a paid course. Worth it, guys. Sylvia is on the show once a week, unless something crazy happens. So there you go. I just added. I didn't have this, so I have like my mega monolith every moving average tool that I'm like adding to using the Pine code or whatever the hell it's called on TradingView. I just basically copy and paste other people's code and figure it out. I just added the exponential 200 moving average to it, and you can see exactly what she was talking about, where it was bouncing. Whereas when I would just use the standard 200, which is this next red line I'm about to draw, you've got some space here. So very, very cool lesson. We learned get that exponential 200 as a sign of support. What else did we learn? We learned a little bit about doji candles, about the wick being at the top like this, meaning that sellers said no, 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 and it's meaning that you can have an educated forecast of the next one being down. Or if you get one of these, that means the buyer said yes, 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 and pushed up the body there. All the way up to here, actually, if it's the open and close, and that the next candle can probably be up. So, guys, I want to thank you very, very much for tuning in to this special, every episode special. What is it? What day is it? Damn it! Wednesday edition of Tactical. I'm Neil Hamilton. Follow me at
Get Tactical. Neil's tweets.
Neil's
Link in the
tweets,
chat.
and follow Aaron Bree for those the pic. What are you doing these days? It's pics of squirrels in your yard. You got that album.
Crockpot recipes.
Oh, nice. That's a good hustle.
Dude, we got the crockpot.
And what is your Twitter handle?
It's
for the ladies.
My name, Aaron. My last name, Bree, B-R-Y, and then the number 5. Not 4, not 6,
no,
but 5.
Yep, right in the middle. It's a great number. Guys, thanks for tuning in. What do we have up next?
We got Moon or Bust talking all the altcoins you could ever imagine. We got altcoins. We got crypto coming up with my man Logan on Moon or Bust. Stay tuned. This stream will automatically direct you there.
That's right, guys. And smash that like. It helps us out. It lets us know that Benzinga should keep doing these shows. Getting trade ideas for free out to the people, education, personalities, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, if you just want to keep having goofy, silly goose times, getting trade ideas and making money together, smash the like button. It's free. Just do it. Don't be weird. Just hit the smash. Hit the smash the...
Hit the smash, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Get Tactical. Happy trading.
Peace.